Hey, how are you? This is Alex, a realtor here in the Lafayette, West Lafayette area. Also service Northwest Indiana. But anyhow, today's video is going to be on a very tough subject, but it's a realization in our world, in our lives, and it's going to be about divorce, right? And divorce real estate, and some of the things to pay attention to if you are unfortunately going through such a scenario. I personally went through a divorce 7 years ago now, so a lot of this is still fresh in my mind of the process that I had to go through when selling the house, and things that the attorneys wanted, and things that even the judge ordered, because we couldn't come to an agreement. So since then, of course, in my real estate career, I have worked with some other families that unfortunately were in that situation. And there's a process. So the point of the video was for you guys to understand that, there are answers out there and you don't have to go at it alone. And more importantly, your attorney is not going to have answers for you, okay? Your attorney is not a realtor. So let's just start there. And the fact that they go to a computer system and get on the .coms and look up what they think your home is worth, it's a big mistake, real big mistake, for various reasons that we could talk about. But typically, a family that, I've seen all sorts of scenarios, unfortunately, but, the most ideal situation would be that you and your spouse would come up with an agreement on possibly even selling the home prior to, the divorce being finalized, for a couple of reasons. One, it's one less thing to worry about. If you guys can come up with an agreement on, if it's as clear cut as, selling your home, and, everyone's going to go on their way. And if it's just that clear cut, then, the easiest route would be to sell the home prior to, litigation and attorneys getting involved. Now, there are circumstances where, that's probably one of the last things that's going to happen, because it's a more complicated situation, and, well, you'll just have to cross that bridge when you get there. However, I will advise you highly to, in many cases, the judge will assign a realtor. And that could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing, because lots of those realtors that are assigned with attorneys, they just want to sell the house quickly, so they're probably not going to maximize your home's value properly. And again, that's not all of them, but just in general terms. But it's a very touchy subject, and it's not an easy one, and there's always different questions and answers, and every scenario is different, and I understand that. But part of this video is to, at least give you guys some headway if you find yourself in this situation, or maybe someone is in this situation and they're unsure of what's going to happen to the house and how it's going to happen. I'll tell you a quick scenario. Divorce is happening. There's large disagreements. The payments to the home stop getting made. Divorce takes 8 months to finalize. By this time, the home is in foreclosure proceedings, and there goes your equity. Gone. And I know that in the heat of the moment, no one thinks about those things, but the realization is that it's avoidable, and you could keep your equity for something else, for whatever's next in your life, whatever, for the next chapter in your life. So I've seen the scenario where that plays out, and, everybody thinks that they have, hypothetically, $100,000 equity in their house, and they're banking on that money so that when they buy their next home, or if they're relocating wherever they're going, and then they find out they don't. because they have a ton of back payments. God forbid the taxes didn't get paid. And even if you had enough equity to pay up to get up to date, look at all the money it cost you guys. Look at all the money it cost you guys, the equity that you just lost for whatever reason, right? So I would highly encourage you or someone you know to maybe come to a compromise with the significant other, and maybe as you're working out the rest of the details of the separation / divorce, that you consider selling the home sooner than later, okay? If you could work it out, obviously. If you can't work it out and you still have to wait because you're going through litigation and figuring out, who's getting what and who's paying what, and going through that process with the attorneys, I mean, still at that time, I guess you may have a chance to still, fulfill the full value of the home, where both parties are going to be happy. And obviously the attorney will be happy because he can move on to the rest of the situation that pertains to the particular individuals. I've worked these cases before, and I've worked these types of real estate transactions before, and my job is to keep both parties involved and be completely fair to both parties and share equal information to both parties, to the point where I will not help either party buy another home, because I want to keep myself right in the middle of just taking care of this right now, which is selling the home. I could refer you to another agent to help you buy another home. We could cross that bridge when we get there. But I find that it's more fair that I'm just specifically and only there to do one job, and that's to help the family maximize their home value while they're going through this awful situation. So if you have any questions, let me know. Having a conversation, it's not going to hurt. Be more than happy to Zoom with you, FaceTime. We could have coffee, and let me hear what your situation is, and what's going on, and maybe I can point you in the right direction. And in many cases, if an attorney's already involved, that's great. I will work with your attorney hand in hand so that we can accomplish this particular goal, which is the real estate that's involved. And then once I'm done communicating with the attorney and finalizing the sale of your home, then the attorney can handle the rest of whatever the situation is that pertains to you. So again, not a fun subject, but divorce is real. It's a real thing, unfortunately, and there's real estate involved, and things can get really, really complicated, and things can get messy if you're not ahead of, just stay ahead of it, right? Staying ahead of it, knowing that this is going to happen. I find it that if it's possible to stay ahead of it, then you want to stay ahead of it, and it's easier that way, and you maximize your home's value, and you don't put yourself and your family in a position where you lost your equity because payments stopped being made, the bill stopped getting paid, and now you have no equity and you're in foreclosure proceedings to the home, right? So avoiding all of that is ideal if it's possible. So my name is Alex. I live here in the area. If you have any questions on this particular topic, or you know someone that may have some of these questions, please feel free to share my information, share this video. I'll be more than happy to speak with anyone and answer any of your questions, and do my best to point you in the right direction, depending on where you are in your unfortunate situation. So please, if you think you found this video useful in any way, or you think that someone else may find it useful, please hit the like button. I'm open to hearing any comments that you may have. You can private message me as well. All my information is below. You'll also find some links below to schedule a 15-minute phone call with me. Or if you're looking to buy a house or sell a house, whatever, all the information is below. So Alex, realtor, owner here in the Lafayette area. And if you have any questions, let me know.